So in the oil industry,
Yeah.
There's big tanks. You've seen pictures of tanks, chemical tanks.
Mhm.
Those tanks in the industry were generally not cleaned if it was, some oil company X. It wasn't employees of X who got into the tanks and had the highest exposures cleaning the tanks. It was mom and pop tank cleaning company that did that.
Oh,
And then they would do an epidemiologic study, and those mom and pop people who had lots of exposure and were most likely to get sick were in the control unexposed group. And the workers who were not really exposed on the plant because they didn't have the dirty jobs, because those are contracted out, less likely to get sick. So in fact, at the guy's deposition, it was kind of funny. There was a lawyer an inside lawyer for one of the companies who was sitting there. And he was actually a study subject considered exposed, but the mom and pop kettle cleaning workers, they were not considered employees. So you can mess up your study pretty quickly that way. I call that working the A box, because the A box are exposed diseased individuals.
okay.
And so if you move people from the exposed disease to the diseased unexposed, which is what they were doing, you get a flipped relationship. I mean, it'll look like working in the plant is safer than working outside.
That's remarkable. That is, I mean, so this kind of raises the question though, if
that was planned in the 50s, that was a system that was developed in the 50s. There was a memo about how to do that, how to have subcontractors do the dirty work, so that because remember, all the regulations about consumer exposures are based on the worker studies. So if you can corrupt the worker studies, then you can expose people in the general population as well, because it won't show how toxic the product is.
Wow. And would you say that, because this makes me think then, after reading about that manipulation, how many other corporations, and I know there's no answer, how many other corporations are deploying these tactics? Is it perhaps all of them? And how worried should we be as consumers or employees about dealing with or purchasing these products?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you they make you sick if there's no studies that say that look at them.
Of course.
So it's an impossible question to answer. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Right? When there's 180,000 chemicals that haven't been studied, I can't tell you that they're making you sick or not making you sick.